नवोदय सर, नवोदय सर।
हेलो, नमस्ते।
यस, स्टार्ट कीजिए लाइव। अलकनंदा मैडम रेडी है।
ओके।
नवोदय सर।
Sir, madam, we will start.
One second, sir.
Madam, we will start in a minute.
Everyone get ready. Everyone get
1
ready.
minute.
We are going live. Soon. We are going live soon. Yes. We are live.
Okay.
We are live. I'm repeating. We are live.
You can. Good morning all. Myself, Alaknanda Mishra, Associate Professor, Department of Shalakya Tantra, Parul University. Welcome you all in the first day of the web guest lecture series on Shalakya Tantra in collaboration with the Association of Shalaki. I especially welcome our guest of honor, Dr. Haridra Dave sir. He is Professor, Department of Shalakya Tantra, JS Ayurved Mahavidyalaya Nadiyad, and presently also President of TAS India. I request him to share a few words regarding TAS. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Alaknanda. I think some noise is there, so it is, I think, required to unmute all.
Yeah, also
except for you and me.
all the participants to unmute yourselves.
You can also do it.
Also of the video.
Yes, right. Good morning to everyone. Namaste. Dr. Hemant Toshikhane, Dean Ayurveda Faculty, Parul University. Our past President, Dr. Paras Shah. Members of Office Bearers of TAS India. Office Bearers of all the state branches of the TAS. Dr. Manjari Keskar Madam, our General Secretary, TAS India. Dr. Shantala Priyadarshini, past President of TAS India and today's guest speaker. Dr. Alaknanda. Dr. Manoj Kumar. Dr. Manoj Kumar is also one of our speakers of the lecture series. All the live members of the TAS India and all the viewers of this webinar. At the outset, I would like to appreciate the efforts of Dr. Manjari Keskar, our General Secretary, that she initiated to start a guest lecture series on Shalakya Tantra. This lecture of the series is organized by our esteemed association and Faculty of Ayurveda, Parul University. Parul University has provided technical support in organize this lecture series on Shalakya Tantra. At this juncture, I appreciate the support given by Dr. Hemant Toshikhane and his team. My heartfelt thanks to you, Dr. Toshikhane. And we anticipate the same in future too, sir. Dear friends, this lecture series is organized for 1 week. Means there will be a lecture of eminent personality of the field of Shalakya Tantra. And it will be up to Saturday. I hope this will be a feast of knowledge to all Shalakis and others. Friends, let me provide brief introduction about our association. With the strong desire of getting all the Shalakis one under roof, senior Shalakis gathered during a national conference organized at Pune in 2002. An idea to form an association was conceived. Bylaws were formed and association was registered under Society Registration Act 1986 under the leadership of Dr. D.P. Puranik sir, with the help of other founder members like Dr. Rajesh Pawar, Dr. Paras Shah, Dr. Dilip Bhusari, Dr. Dhiman, Dr. Manjusha, Dr. Rajiv Gode, Dr. Sangeeta Salvi, and others. Friends, association was started in 2nd November 2005 with 35 members. And I am very happy to share with you, because it is a proud moment for us, that at present we have 865 members in our association, and others are waiting for this, because due to this pandemic condition, they are not able to get proper registration and proper bank procedure. So they are waiting for this, and definitely as a pre-lecture series, Dr. Shantala Madam has told that you might have crossed the 900. Madam, definitely I assure you, with the help of our General Secretary and other members, our membership drive committee, we will definitely cross the 900 within a short period. Of course, this achievement is due to tremendous efforts of all founder members, all our past presidents, past general secretaries, and all other active members. It is also a proud matter for all of us that we have 6 active state branches. Our association has organized 5 international conferences and 16 national conferences, and 2 national webinar, and this is the 3rd lecture series. So this is a very good initiation even during this pandemic condition. So it is highly appreciable. All this activity regarding this conferences, it is to meet our aim, that is to disseminate the knowledge, get the common platform to Salakis to present their work. Our active members also helping our Foundation Day, that is 2nd November every year, by organizing free surgical camps, awareness camps, and diagnostic camp also. I request all of you to be a member of the TAS India who are not a member. I request all the viewers who are the Salakis, post-graduation in the Salakya Tantra, and are not still you are a member. Please be a member of this esteemed association, active association, and purely academic association. So it is my humble request, all of you too. So we have so many activities. You can also observe our activity by attending this type of our webinar, and we have also our website. You can also visit our website, the Association of Salaki. You can find this website through Google, and we have also TAS Facebook page also. I request all of you to please like this page and send your comments. So, dear friends, this is the brief information about our association. So, I again thanks to Parul University who has provided the technical support and other things. So, and also thankful to Dr. Manjari Keskar who you have initiated this activity. And last but not least, I wish grand success of the lecture series. It is our privilege and proud moment that the first guest speaker is also our past president and very knowledgeable Salakis of the in field of Salakya Tantra. So it is a very good thing for us, because when we start something, we should have some very relevant personality. So we are very lucky. So Madam, I welcome you in this webinar also, and I welcome all of you, all the members, all the viewers, and I welcome you and thank you. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you, sir, for your precious words. Now I welcome our guest speaker, Dr. T.R. Shantala Priyadarshini Madam. She has many feathers in her cap. Madam is MS in Shalakya Tantra. She has also done her MA in Sanskrit, also MSc Tech, Environmental Science Technology. Madam has 35 years of experience in Ayurveda as a teacher, clinician, and Ayurveda medical practitioner. She is a researcher in Amruta Heritage, Complete Wellbeing Science India. Local papers, radio and TV popularized her thoughts to create health hygiene awareness. Madam is presently a TAS member. Formerly, she was president of TAS. She is an honorary member of British Association of Accredited Ayurveda Professionals, that is BAP. She is awarded for oration by Srimati Dr. Vasundhara Memorial at DFRL. Also, Dr. Jaide Oration Series Talks Award and Madhusudan Jhavar Award. 2 books have been published on her name. On invitation, Madam has visited Maharishi Ayurvedic University, Netherlands. Indo-Australian grants took her to Southern University of Adelaide. Madam has also attended Indo-Sri Lankan Conclave. Madam has received Indo-US DBT research grants and Ayurveda medical practitioner. Also received RGUHS research grants. Madam is peer reviewer of international journals like PLOS ONE, IU, Editorial Board of Arogya Samvad, and JAIM. She is an examiner for UG, PG, and PhD in several universities. Madam is a CCIM member nominated by Government of India. She is also a member of Arogya Bharati. Madam is a member coordinator of India National Executive. She is the National Executive Member for Health Policy and Home Remedy. Madam was Joint Director to Ayush Training Center. She is retired professor and Ayurveda medical practitioner, HOD, Department of Shalakya Tantra, Government Ayurveda Medical College, Mysore, Karnataka. Madam is presently Dean and HOD of CRM College, Bhopal, MP. So now, as everyone is very eager to hear her, I request Shantala Madam to enlighten us on the topic preventive ophthalmology in Ayurveda. Also, one more thing, friends, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, so all the queries are welcome here. You can put your questions on chat box or comment so that we can enroll your questions in question answer session. So over to Shantala Madam.
Thank you. Namaste. A very warm welcome to all of you, because this is, though it is online, we are all meeting. So Shalakya, TAS and all this means a lot of great memories. So thanks to Dave sir and Manjari Madam, of course, Parul University, and all of you who are listening to me. So let us go over, and I need to share the screen. So let's go over to the topic. Audible? Okay.
Yes, madam, you are audible. Yes, madam, you are audible.
Okay. So the most important thing to popularize Shalakya is like we need to create awareness among the public, how to take care of themselves, to take care of their vision, and how we could protect the vision. So I would be starting off with Netra Roga Nidana, which is an analysis to understand how we could approach the public and make it possible for them to take care of it. This is my present institute, Sri Sai Ram Institute of Ayurvedic Research and Medicine, Bhopal. And so we will go over to the who first launched the blindness prevention programs is Ayurveda itself. So Nidana Parivarjanameva Chikitsa is what Ayurveda has been speaking about, and more so especially Sushruta. Here today in the national programs, we have prevention is one of the basic human rights, right to see. Ensure that no citizen goes blind, or if blind, not remain so. Reasonable deployment of skills and resources. One sight can be preserved from deterioration, and if it is already lost, if it can be restored. So we have a lot of responsibility with regard to this. And what is happening in the world, and what is the Indian...
Madam,
yes?
PPT is not shared. Can you please restart your PPT?
Now?
You go for PPT. PPT is not shared, madam.
Now it is not.
You go on the, there it is present now. At the right corner of your screen, no madam, there is a present now. Click on it. Then you select entire screen.
Where is
On
it? Where is the
right side of your
screen?
screen, there is a present. Present now is there, no?
On the right side of the. Okay. Did I get it?
No, ma'am, not actually.
Share.
You
Okay.
have a mic and video symbol now on that
Huh?
row. When you click the screen for unmuting or muting a mic,
Hmm.
yeah, on that row only last right side.
Now
Is
it is
it-
coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Now it is coming.
present.
Now it's done.
Now it's coming. Now it's coming.
Okay. So I will go over to the slide which I had. So prevention. This slide you had seen. Have I shown you this slide? Prevention is Nidana Parivarjana. That's what we are going to speak about because Ayurveda first started with Nidana Parivarjana Meva Chikitsa. So prevention is what we are doing, giving a lot of focus on, right to see. So let us go over and see what is the world scenario and what is Indian scenario. More than 180 million visually impaired, 135 low vision. We have very fearful statistics. 5 seconds, one person goes blind. 1 minute, a child goes blind. 7 million people go blind each year. And India is not far beyond. So we have a lot of things to be scared about. But what is the most beautiful part? What is the important part that we all should know and remember always is 80 to 90% of this is preventable. Preventable blindness is what we are focusing on. This is a picture about what is the structure of vitamin A deficiency. See, India is almost in red. So we have a lot of things which we need to focus upon and start working. So Vision 2020, the right to sight. And this is the year 2020. We have this 2020 because of two meanings. One is 2020 is Vision 2020. When you say 6 by 6, you also say 20 by 20. So vision, normal vision is what is our achievement. So who are all joining together today is the World Health Organization and the International Agency for Prevention of Blindness, national level initiative, state level, regional level, and it is individual level who really need to take a focus on and start working on that. So today we are all speaking about COVID, and here is what is the Aupasargika Roga, Jwara, Shosha, Kushta, Abhishanda. We have a lot of things wherein Prasangat, Gata, Samsprshat, you all know the shloka. So, Sankramanti Naran Naran. We even have a lot of conjunctivitis today. It is rare, but conjunctivitis is also happening as a part of COVID. And here is what our acharyas have been telling. Sushruta has said, these are the things which will create Abhishanda. And Abhishanda is a role cause for all other disease to manifest. So we need to take care of Abhishanda. Here, next, Ushnabhi Jala Praveshat. So when you start with the shloka about Netra Roga Nidanas, you all will be teaching the students when a person dies deep down into swimming and then comes back and exposes himself or herself to a lot of sunbathing and swimming. So it is two extreme temperatures wherein dilation of blood vessels happen and the tiny capillaries in the eye can be exposed to a lot of dangerous pathology. So it accelerates aging, it causes degeneration, it causes early cataract, retinal problems. These are all what we have found. Even today, it is time tested. What our acharyas have been telling so long is time tested. Early cataracts, retinal problems, all this happen because of this one Netra Roga Nidana that our acharyas have been telling. The people who go out for fishing early in the morning. So these people are usually going to get early cataracts. They are going to have problems with vision. So occupation and Ushnabhitaptasya Jalapravesha is also very important. Then the emotions, we have two very important aspects, the negative emotions and the positive emotions. So Shoka, Krodha, Bashpa Nigraha, Klesha, Chinta, Bhaya, Prasakta Samrodha. All the time people are unhappy. So today it is the situation that most people can see themselves in, or they can see themselves, the patients whom they see are all having a lot of this uncontrolled Vegas. The Arishad Vargas are not controlled. So that definitely leads to a lot of just not Netra Rogas, but other Rogas also. But our people have been telling in all the Netra Rogas about these. So what to control and what not to control. So as I have been telling you, anger, lust, grief, greed, jealousy, infatuation. These needs to be controlled right from the beginning. We need to teach the kids right from they start life. So what should not be controlled? As you all know, sleep, hunger, bowel movements, tears, sneezing, all this. So these are very well known to the academicians, the physicians, the people in the Ayurveda fraternity, but we need to popularize it among the public. We need to teach them why it should be started early. Then Swapna Viparyaya. We have a lot of software professionals or whatever professionals, they could be having Swapna Viparyaya, sleeping at odd times. So it not only has circadian rhythm disruptions, but mental health, brain effects. You have so many things which you really need to tell people why they should take care of Swapna Viparya, sleeping at odd times, waking up at odd times. So this will have a lot of uh, effect on the vision. Then we have something we should be very careful about, Nidanaattakara rogas, which our acharyas have been telling. Abhishanda leads to Adimanta, Adimanta leads to Hatadimanta. So even today we have this time tested, it is proved so. So 4.5 million or even more are blind due to open angle glaucoma, then closure angle closure glaucoma, then we have observed glaucoma also. It is increasing. So we need to really think of how we could control glaucoma. Then you have habits like tobacco and alcohol, and excess of that, which will definitely lead to blurred vision, perception is disturbed, night vision is affected. So it can lead to many other ailments apart from tobacco, alcohol, amblyopia. It also causes early cataract, early glaucoma, age-related macular degeneration, simple congestions, so on. Our acharyas have told about Shukta, Aranala, Atimadhya Sevana. It is not something new, but whatever acharyas have been telling, we need to analyze and find out if it is true even today. Then trachoma is what first started with our national prevention, blindness prevention, national programs. So at this juncture, I would request the president of TAS to really think about having Ayurveda as part of the national program. We have been always talking about how we could start with introducing it as part of national blindness prevention programs. So here, coming back to trachoma, it is a different sort of organism. Chlamydia group of organisms, Bedsonia group of organisms, which was endemic in so many countries. Today it is less because of hygiene and environment and all that. But here is something which is even today a big problem, allergic conjunctivitis. Every practitioner every physician will definitely come across different sorts of allergic conjunctivitis, allergic rhinitis, allergic pansinusitis. You have allergy manifesting in most of the parts. But why and how we can control it? We have a lot of things wherein we can take it out from Ayurveda and start popularizing it and teach the people why they should improve their immunity. Compromised immunity is what is causing a lot of allergic problems. Dust, mite, pollen, smoke, preserved and packaged food. So, dinacharya, rutucharya, all these are not being followed. Then you have pratishaya. If neglected, leads to dushta pratishaya, pinasa, shwasa, kasa, so on. So this again is wherein hygiene, Swachh Bharat. We really need to start a very serious approach to all our not only living quarters but everywhere we should see about hygiene and improve the immunity so that we could control allergic conjunctivitis. Here again we have Divaswapna, Ratri Jagarana, Adyashana, which is very common today, Atiyambu, Madhyapana, then occupational causes. So when we take over and analyze each of these issues, the causative factors, then we know it could be controlled. And when we start treatment for allergic conjunctivitis, Ayurveda has been giving wonderful remedies. We could control that right from the beginning, or even if a case comes to you after 4, 5, 10 years, it is still possible to make them healthy, their vision good, their eyesight good. Not only just that, the look, the see in the picture you can see how much of congestion is there. So that could also be taken care of. Then we go to infection, wherein we talk about Puyalasa. Puyalasa, it could be bacterial, fungal, viral. Puyalasa is wherein the pus stagnates. So what today we have been speaking about the pus being stagnation, that was the same thing that our acharyas have been speaking about. Puya alasaka. So this is something wherein we could take care of the infection. It need not be that we have to give antibiotics. Ayurveda is quite efficient. It could control that. In my practice, it has been happening. So also in many people, many experienced people, that could be possible. Then this is a very common thing, Pittaja Abhishanda, wherein viral problems which are very common today is going to infect the eye and all around the eye. So Visarpa, you have Raktaja Visarpa, and here Sushruta says Visarpa should Abhishanda, Pittaja Abhishanda should be treated like Visarpa. Then they speak about how viral infection happen, what should be the modality of treatment, how it should be controlled, so on. This is something which is luckily not found in India, but it is a world's second largest infectious blindness. So it is a filarial parasite known as black fly, onchoriasis. So it is also known as river blindness. 18 million people usually get affected in African endemic countries. But what they do is they just move over to different places. This is something which is relevant even today. Very fast moving vehicles and people driving in something which is moving very fast. It could start with um, Abhigata, Shiro Abhigata, Marma Abhigata, and in Charakam, Siddhisthana, he has been speaking about this also. Shiro Netra Abhigatas, Apanga and Avartam Marma. So here we see that what causes blindness. Sushruta again speaks about Sangata Bala Pravrutta, Vyadhi, the different Bala Pravrutas. So the 9 parts wherein you hear that. So here is retinal detachment, Arjuna, Shukla, Arma, Sangata bala pravrutas. So you have again trauma which could be causing Vatahata Vatmas. Congenital, it could be ptosis, could be congenital, it could be due to paralysis, it could be surgery, or it could be the autoimmune condition like myasthenia gravis. Lethal drug exposure. I will again be speaking about that. Swabhava bala pravruta. So age-related macular degeneration, cataract. Most of the industrialized countries, developed countries, have a lot of problems with age-related macular degeneration. So here is wherein Ayurveda can definitely help. Rasayana prevents aging. So you need to follow Sadvrutta and very important Rasayanas. So Rasayana prevents aging and age-related macular degeneration, so many things. Atulya Gotriya is again what Charaka has also told. So you have a lot of congenital anomalies. You have Bija Doshaja. Here again you have different color blindness. It could be the usual color blindness or simple color blindness, wherein you can see that people don't discriminate between colors at all. So Mehajanya Timida, wherein there was only one text which started with Mehajanya Timira, that Mehajanya Timira is described along with Timira, which is due to Adbuda. So we have 4.8 to 37 million causes of cases of blindness, both hypertensive and diabetic retinopathy. We have so many retinopathies wherein if the causative factors can be controlled, like MEHA and hypertension and diabetes, definitely it could be controlled so that it doesn't lead to BRVO and ARVO. So, Janma Bala Pravruta. So, retinitis pigmentosa is something which is a huge problem worldwide, and people are doing a lot of research on retinitis pigmentosa, wherein a group of Ayurveda people from all the states could join together and start taking up retinitis pigmentosa as a multicentric study. We did start that in Karnataka, and Rajiv Gandhi University did provide funds for us. So we have been, every state has been doing work on its own. But if TAS can take up a multicentric study on retinitis pigmentosa, then we will be able to find out how early we can control it, whether it is controllable, whether we can do some justice to the patients suffering from retinitis pigmentosa. It is definitely possible at early stages. So how early, what type of treatment, all this, what should be prevented, all this needs to be considered. Then coloboma, again I'll be speaking about that when I speak about the congenital anomalies down below, again after few more slides. Retinoblastoma. So this is the most important thing that Ayurveda people should think about, iatro epidemic. In the beginning, we did speak about iatrogenic, but today we speak about iatro epidemic. It has gone to epidemic purposes, proportions. In the beginning, when we were students, we spoke about iatrogenic. It was few cases only, but iatro epidemic it has gone to epidemic proportions. So we should be very careful about topical steroids, beta blockers, pilocarpine, high dose of antimalarials, antibacterials, all this. Or else, here you can see the thalidomide baby. So we could also end up like having a lot of problems caused due to hydroepidemic problems. Then we come to something like, then we ask ourselves, is it not there in Ayurveda? Ayurveda is so safe that we don't get any iatrogenic problems. It's not like that. If we are not careful, definitely we are also going to cause a lot of iatrogenic eye problems. So, Atiyoga Vamana, Vegadharana, Rutu, Ati Amla, Katu, Ushna, Ahara Sevana, all this also could start leading to iatrogenic problems. Here is something wherein we see a lot of Panchakarma institutes opening up, lot of people having wellness programs, wellness centers, starting their own Panchakarma units. But they have to be very careful because during Snehana, Vamana, Virechana, Raktamokshana, Basti, and also when the patient is having Akshirogas, they have to follow all the principles of Panchakarma. Or else, if they are speaking too much, if they are not inpatient, and if they are doing their Panchakarma roaming about, and they are not following any of the principles, then Vayu increases in the head, pathology happens, so Indriya Vibhrama. So Andhya, Adimanta, Netrastamba, Nimesha, so on. We have a big list of Shalakya disease. Here I have only listed Netra Rogas. But Shalakya, Indriya Vibhrama, there is a big list of what happens if Panchakarma is not done properly. So it leads to iatrogenic problems. Sushruta in his Chikisasthana has very categorically told why we should be very cautious about this. Then, as you all know, just yesterday we had the solar eclipse. We have Ati Bhasvarana, something which is very, very luminous. Mahauraganam, Ati Yoga, Mithya Yoga, Sura Rushi, Gandharva. We have all these type of things. But the most common is the xenon headlight systems, which we have changed today. You have a lot of stardust, you have lot of automobile which is having a very powerful headlamps. So this could also cause problems to the eyes. Then continuing with iatrogenic issues, Atiyoga Putapaka. So if we are not careful with Putapaka or Anjana, if we do Anjana to Anarha people, if we don't follow the principles of Tarpana, Putapaka, Nasya, all that, it is definitely going to lead to lot of problems. If a person who is having fever has undergone Nasya, he will develop timida. He will have lot of problems. So we have to follow each and every principles that have been told in our classical books. We have special nidana, which usually people do with knowledge or without knowledge. Here is where we need to really create awareness among the public as to Dhumapana done in excess. It is not just the regular Dhumapana told in Ayurveda, it is also smoking of different things that happen in India or worldwide today. So it causes blindness. So Dhumapana in Prameha Rogi, Shurabhigata, it also causes a lot of problems. Then when it should be done, when it should not be done. We have here one special nidana, sleeping with very high or very low pillows. This disturbs the circulation and that hampers the vision. So improper nasya can be a nidana to lot of netra rogas. Improper nasya leads to drishti rogas. A thirsty person who has taken water or sneha is given nasya. If a person talks, laughs while administering nasya, nasya gives a lot of marvelous, wonderful results when we do the treatment. But we have to be very cautious because if it is improperly done, it can definitely lead to different netra rogas. Then we go to Svedayitva Yatanyayam. So it has to be very cautiously, very systematically, very rationally being done. What type of Svedana should be done? Drishti Rasvedya. But if at all we have to do Svedana, it should be subjected to Svedana in some certain cases. So every rule has an exception. So we have to do Hasta Svedana. We have to be very cautious. Then Pujyapada Mahamuni, who was the first person to have the book Netra Prakashika, has told about Timira, which is caused due to different growths and also Timira, Prameha. So here again he has given a list of special nidanas from Pujapada Mahamuni. Weightlifting. Weightlifting beyond one's limits. Excessive oil massage. Oil massage has become a fad today, a fashion today. So people go and get their oil massage. But if a person is not having good appetite, if person is not, he is also having constipation. So there are some rules and regulations which are overlooked and that could cause a lot of problems. Then vitamin A deficiency, which is a preventable blindness. We have to create awareness among school-going children, the Anganwadi workers. We have a lot of things to do. So when they should be given vitamin-rich foods, as soon as they're almost uh, getting weaning done of the breast milk, then we have to see that they get proper nutrition. So apatya sevana should be controlled. Then vitamin A deficiency can be controlled to a very great extent. Then we go back to before conception. Before conception, the eye has to be taken care of. That is where the prevention of blindness starts. Right before conception, we have to see that a pregnant lady does not consume a lot of food which is salty, alkaline, and pungent because Sushruta also again says it can cause problems. When we speak about Garbhini Charya, all the acharyas have been saying that alcohol should not be given to pregnant ladies. And that has been proved again that it causes fetal alcohol syndrome, fetal alcoholic abnormalities, smoking, drugs, all this causes a lot of problems. Blindness could be the result of the pregnant lady, the expectant lady taking a lot of alcohol. So from there, we need to start how a child should have good vision. So right from there, our prevention of blindness program should start. We have next computer vision syndrome, the occupational hazards. We have a lot of pragnaparada being done. Here we have so many other occupations wherein we have minors nystagmus, a horologist, a scientist, one exposed to a lot of smoke, dust, fumes, so on. So what is it that we need to do? Can we stop them? Can we change their occupation? No. So 2020, as you all know, the rule that we need to follow. Apart from that, we have a lot of patya to be done, lot of care to be given. So all this needs to be inculcated right from the beginning. It should become a national program. Then it is possible for us to stop a lot of visual problems. Then you have surgeries. Even right from Sushruta's time, we have surgeries. But today we have to be very, very cautious because surgery could result in extreme night blindness, glare, hollows, visual abnormalities. Drugs during surgery also put problems. So surgery, which is sometimes very beneficial, can also cause problems. That can also become iatrogenic. Then here is something wherein right from babies to adults, poisonous insects should be prevented from biting the eyes or in and around the eyes. Then here is something which is very common today. The mother who is feeding the baby, if they are not following instructions, if they are not following correct lifestyle, then kukunaka. Every day we come across this type of cases wherein it is similar to Kafaja Abhishanda, which Ayurveda people can very surely treat without any difficulty. So, how it should be done, the Datri and the Shishu Chikitsa is done. But before that, if the mother follows rules and regulations while feeding the baby, then it will go a long way in preventing. Ritu Viparyaya. So what season, what climatic condition, where we should follow what rules and regulations is very important. Desha, Kala, Rutu, we have a big list of things which we need to consider and where we need to have something to be done. Then we can never stop thinking of Ati Yoga, Mithya Yoga, Hina Yoga when we speak about the Indriyas. Seeing far off objects, seeing minute objects, seeing luminous objects, and to the excess. If we are doing it in extreme level, then it is going to cause it is going to result in a lot of eye problems. So some things which we need to ponder about is excessive smoking. So increases the risk of cataract and macular degeneration, age-related macular degeneration, more than 3 times than the normal people. Alcohol increases not just cataract risk, it also increases amblyopia. Then you have exposure to bright light without sunglasses. Extremes can also result in eye problems. No protective eyewear in specific occupations can also lead to loss of vision. Then the most important thing wherein we need to educate the public is see what you eat. Abhishyan, Adyashana, Anashana. So we have Kulatta, Masha, Amla, Lavana, Atisevana. Uh, so Asatmya Bhojana, Vidudaka. You have a big list and you also see that what is the food and lifestyle that we are all following. See, when you have a lot of mango season, so eating a lot of mangoes are very good. It is very healthy, but if you eat it in excess, then it's going to cause problems. Same way, madhya, different sorts of alcoholic drinks, and then you have a lot of food which is cause having a lot of salt, sour, pungent things. So the taste is good, but it causes a lot of issues. So you have junk food, which could again be marketed, which could be advertised a lot that it is very tasty, it's very good, and all that. But is it good for health? One needs to find out what to eat and what not to eat. So snacking is adyashana. Snacking has caused a lot of problems, not just obesity. Ayurveda says it causes a lot of eye problems. So snacking is eating again and again, wherein adyashana. Then you have excessive fluid intake. People are so fond of drinking water all the time, so fond of drinking tender coconut water, so many at on one day, and then a lot of junk food. So you have something which you need to find out how much of fluid you really need to take, how much of food you really need to take. These are something things which is very important. So we all need to join hands to popularize Shalakya now. So thank you for giving such a patient listening. Um, and before I could conclude, I would like to convey my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Haridhar Dave sir and Madam Manjuri Keshkar and the TAS Association, the previous presidents of TAS, and all the people who have joined to. I see 184 people have been hearing this. And apart from all this, I would like to thank the present institute that I am working for, the CRM Medical Institute, and also my previous institute, the institute where I am here today is all because of that. So thanks to Government Ayurveda Medical College, Mysore also. Now we would be taking some questions, is what I have been told.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, a lot for enlightening us in such knowledgeable session. It was great hearing you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So now finally it's coming to question and answers. Many questions have come. Box is actually flooded with questions, but due to shortage of time, we can take only some of them.
Sure, sure.
So ma'am, I'll be asking you the first question. First question is from Dr. Ishwari. She's asking, what would be your advice to IT professionals, considering their routine, their diet, everything? So what would be your advice to them, IT professionals?
Yes, this is a very important question. And most of our patients today are IT professionals. You can't tell them that because you're working for America, you don't change your profession and all that. So Nidana Pariyojana has some limitations like how to take care of themselves. If they can't change their profession, then what is the time they need to sleep, when they need to sleep? It is what we call it as satmya. You slowly need to ascertain yourself, to change yourself, to adopt yourself to this type of lifestyle. So how much you should sleep and what you should not do. Apart from that, all the patya, all the instructions given to take care of the eyes really needs to be adopted by the IT professionals. And of course, they would be knowing about the 20-20-20 rule. So they have to give rest to their eyes. They have to repeatedly start adopting all the Shalakya related Anjana and Tarpana, all these type of things. They need to ask how they can take care of themselves because it can become a individualized, personalized um, suggestion that I need to give. So people can find out. And then the most important thing that they have been focused about too much of computers. A lot of patients who come to us will have dry eyes. So dry eyes is something which could definitely be prevented. And Ayurveda has, Shalakya has a very good remedy for taking care of dry eyes. Dry eyes can be taken care of if you follow Dinacharya, Rutucharya, Rasayana. Apart from that, we have specific medicaments for dry eyes. Was this?
Thank you, ma'am. I hope she was satisfied with this answer and it would be helpful for her practice. Next question is from Dr. Khan. He's asking how diabetic retinopathy can be controlled by Ayurveda.
This is a very important and very interesting question for me because my thesis during my UG days was diabetic retinopathy. As usual, diabetes needs to be controlled. It is always said so, even in the allopathic system of medicine. So that is one thing. Apart from that, if the person can postpone using insulins, different sorts of insulins, by adopting Ayurveda and yoga together, better lifestyle, if we can control the fluctuations in blood sugar, then it will be very, very helpful. So here is something wherein you really need to adopt a huge Panchakarma list like Shirodharas, Takradharas. And we have specific Anjana as told by Sushruta. We have Rasayana, mainly you have Shilajit. That is what I have been prescribing my patients in diabetic retinopathy, and it gives really marvelous results to prevent blindness, to prevent going for a lot of injections, a lot of lasers, and going for vitrectomy and all that. If you can start early and prevent deterioration, save vision, that would be the best thing that Ayurveda people can do.
Thank you, ma'am. Considering diabetic retinopathy is a very burning issue these days, so we have to move towards Ayurveda and follow Ayurveda.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am. Next question is by Dr. Gautam. He's asking what Ayurveda can contribute to progressive myopia.
Progressive myopia is what my first initiation into Shalakya was because I have very bad visual problem. It is progressive myopia. when I was very small, I started with glasses. So then very sincerely, I used to wear glasses, but it went on increasing. And today we see that most of the people who have been very sincere about wearing glasses and all that, still it increases. Myopia, as you all know, there are different types of myopias. And here again, if we follow principles of Ayurveda, if we adopt lifestyle of Ayurveda and yoga, then definitely it is going to help in progressive myopia. If I remember, Dr. Gautam was my student. So if he is from Karnataka, he'll be knowing that we have been doing a lot of work on progressive myopia also.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Next question is probably this is the last question, ma'am. We will go for. Question is by Dr. Abhishek Singh. Is asking what should be the treatment in Shushk Akshipak, Ayurvedic treatment in Shushk Akshipak.
Yes, Shushkakshipaka is you need to find out how bad is the dryness. You can use the simple strips like skimmer strips, and you also have to find out how what is the intensity of the dryness. Patient could have Sjogren's syndrome. Patient could have as a symptom of retinitis. I mean RA. It could be because of so many other reasons, or it could just be that patient has been exposed to a lot of computers, lot of latest gadgets, which right from children to adults, they are all addicted to the computers. So that could also cause dryness. Here is something wherein we always say Tarpana helps a lot, but not just Tarpana. You can't be keeping on doing Tarpana. So Vagbata has given very good Anjana, wherein it could be used. It is very difficult to make those Anjanas, but we have been making those Anjanas. Please refer to Anjanas described by Vagbata, wherein you adopt that and dryness can be a problem of the past. You can save a lot of people's vision. Dryness, if neglected, can definitely lead to blindness. It can lead to a lot of problems. So here is early prevention is the best, but we really need to understand all the other aspects wherein it can help prevention of dryness of eyes.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks a lot. So here we end the question and answer session. So it was very informative, ma'am. Thanks a lot that you provided your precious time to us for enlightening us. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot to Dr. Haridra Dave sir for his precious presence. So also I take this opportunity to thank our Dean Faculty of Ayurveda, Dr. Hemant Toshikhane sir and Parul University for giving us chance to enlighten our knowledge and enhance our skills by such kind of initiative every other day. Last but not the least, many thanks to Dr. Harish Daga, Dr. Navodaya Raoju and Kamlesh Marathe for technical support. Without them, it would not have been possible. Also, there is something I would like to make everyone aware of. Also, this is the lecture series for 6 days. This full week we are going to conduct lectures on Shalakya Tantra. Tomorrow, same time, we have a knowledgeable session by Dr. Narayan Bavalatti on topic applications of Netra Kriya Kalp. So please everyone join this lecture. It would be very informative as it was today's lectures. So thank you all for joining. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Good day.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes. We will be in touch, madam.
Oh, sure, sure.
Yeah.
Take care.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you
Okay.
very
Thank you,
much.
sir.
We are in very much in time, madam.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes.
sir.
सर बहुत अच्छा रहा
Yes.
और टाइम पर भी खत्म हो गया
बिल्कुल।
ये भी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट बात है
मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट वही
ये
है,
भी
सही बात है। हाँ।
ये एक्सपीरियंस से आता है सर
Definitely.
ये मैडम है इसलिए ये सब ठीक सही हो
हाँ,
गया
हाँ, सही 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 हाँ।
Oh,
Right, right,
Samsha
right.
Priya,
Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Oh, Samsa madam, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
शमसा मैडम है प्रणव भागवत है हमारे
हाँ,
बहुत सारे
हैं।
काउंसिल मीटिंग मेंबर्स भी
Members
हैं
हैं
और
सभी,
बहुत
सभी।
सारे टास्क के भी मेंबर ज्वाइन हो गए सर
Yes, yes.
total 195 was the highest.
Yes, highest
195,
number. I
हाँ.
also noted that one, total
Yeah.
195
और
is there. Was
अभी
there.
फेसबुक का भी आ जाएगा. Yes.
हाँ,
Thank you
वो हो
very much.
जाएगा. Okay,
Thank you,
fine,
madam
fine.
जी. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
चलो,
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Fine. Bye. Thank you.